The light on the horizon can be a sunrise or a sunset, a beginning or an end. Some people see the glass as half empty. Others think of it as half full. Perhaps it's neither.
No, I never thought I was gonna be a window washer. There's no way I'm going over there to clean that building, man. There's no way.
I wanted to have better education, a better job. And I started messing up in high school, just not going to classes, ditching school, just going to band class. I just wanted to become a professional musician. I mean, that's why I spent so much time in the practice rooms. I miss coming in here and practicing for hours. Look, there's an old picture of me here. That's me right there. And the LA downtown building is back here. Who knew I was gonna be cleaning all these windows, huh? I think when I first heard the news that I was gonna become a father, I tripped. I did want to have kids, but not at an early age. I wanted to have them maybe 35. I wanted to have fun in my 20s, but I have to support my kids.
And now we return to Incredible Kids and Company.
Welcome back to Incredible Kids and Company. We are very pleased to introduce you to our next special guest. This young genius is a polished magician. His name is Todd Brown, and he's been fascinated with the art of magic since he was 8 years old.
We are proud to present Todd Brown, magician extraordinaire.
Haven't aged a bit, have I? My stage name, I don't know if I admitted this yet or not in this documentary, but my stage name at the time was Flasho the Magician. Did we ever discuss that? Yeah, maybe that shouldn't make it in. I have my performance case, you know, top hat, gotta have one of those. This is the one I produced my bunny rabbit out of. His name, it used to be Fluffy, but now it's Pancake. You know, 2 bands of steel that kind of go together like that. Wow. Come apart, stuff like that. Typical. And I absolutely thought about being a magician full-time. That would have been great. I had this appearance on a TV show when I was 16, and I was always in my school, you know, talent shows, and I just thought I was on a roll. And then when I competed on a national level at one of the national conventions, I always say I lost to a very famous magician named Lance Burton, who had a Vegas show for many years, and I realized at that point it was time to find another career.
I don't know how I got into this position. I didn't say I'm going to move my shoulder over, move my body. No, the music pushed me over, which is why I call it one buttock playing. Now, I had an amazing experience. I was 45 years old. I'd been conducting for 20 years, and I suddenly had a realization. The conductor of an orchestra doesn't make a sound. My picture appears on the front of the CD. And that changed everything for me. It was totally life-changing. People in my orchestra came up to me and said, "Ben, what happened?" That's what happened. I realized my job was to awaken possibility in other people.
Well, that was a tremendous transformational moment because it changed everything. I was very emotionally up and down. Whoa! So if things were going well, I'd be very excited. Like that. Things were going bad, I'd be very depressed. My thought was, they're just following me and I'm going to push them around, you know, until they obey my will. Changed immediately my relationship to the players. Because I suddenly became interested in knowing whether I was in fact enabling them to realize the possibility that they are. Because if something happens to you, and it's not a particularly cheerful thing, like a divorce, for instance, or the loss of a wonderful person, or illness, or whatever it may be, it's very hard.
The hardest part is waking up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., whatever the time you're supposed to be at the building. I mean, once you have kids, it's just life-changing. You can do stuff that you want to do, but it's just going to be harder. You just have to be very alert to things, you know. I mean, one false step, and, you know, you fall off the building and things go bad for everyone. I mean, I can't say no. It's just a necessity to go work. Sí. It's just difficult to get to wherever you want to get to. So it's not about you anymore. It's about you, your wife, and your kid.
Yo casi no estaba impuesto a usar 18, puro 22. La madre, ¿cuándo vamos a acabar?
Una ventana, dos ventanas, tres ventanas. To this day, I can't even go to the local park because it's so dangerous. I don't have enough money to support my family in a safer place. That's why I'm working so hard these days to get them out of this neighborhood.
So I'm going through a divorce. I wonder what's next. That's very hard to do because in the moment of the loss of an important relationship or something where you think your whole world is created around that idea of being married, for instance, the assumption is that it's going to be terrible. Not at all.
Yeah,
I mean, mainly, I will say, Roz had the discipline to constantly come up with this idea that, no, this isn't the end. It's just a different form. I didn't see it at first because I was trying to get it back.
Well, I'm the philosopher in the group.
Right.
And so...
Because what normally happens when two people separate or divorce is they try and make the other person as wrong as possible. Get all the evidence they can about how wrong they were, and then they get lawyers to come in there and bash the other as much in order to justify what went wrong. And what Roz did was the exact opposite, which was, this is not working, this form of our relationship is not working, so let's create a new form. That's possibility.
As disappointed as I was, to some degree, knowing I was not going to win this competition, I was okay with that. Magic has been such an important component of my life in ways I never could have expected or anticipated. Cool. But yeah, I got a lot of thank you letters for performing. Really nice. Todd, my young children and I thoroughly enjoyed your very professional performance in last night's variety show. My youngest son, age 7, was fascinated. I think he may be making career plans of his own. Thanks again and good luck in tonight's show, Mrs. Barber. I still love it and it's fun to reminisce, but that was then and this is now. So it's all, yeah, it's fine. I've never really had a job. I've always kind of done my own thing. I've always been an entrepreneur. But there have been a few opportunities for me to give back using magic, and one of those has been performing at hospitals. You know, a lot of times things that don't go your way lead you to something else better. I got interested in magic at a pretty young age as a hobby, and now to think that I can maybe inspire other kids, I love when those moments happen. Hopefully we'll make this kid's day a little better. Sounds like he's had a pretty rough morning.
Yeah. It's an amazing world. I mean, it's just, it's a world of such joy and open-heartedness and excitement. And all these kids in the youth orchestra, particularly, they're the ones who are getting it full blast. And you can see it on their faces. You can see it in their joy and excitement. It's an amazing thing. My father, he had a huge influence on me. In fact, I met one of my students in the corridor after he died. I said, my father died yesterday. And she started crying. And I said, but you didn't know my father. She said, yes, I did. I knew him through you. My father, at age 95, when he was lying on his deathbed, was to say, as the last thing he said, is there anything I can do to help? That, to me, is a discipline. That's a long life in which he realized he suffered extraordinarily. But in the end, he understood the most important thing was to do something for other people.
My name's Todd. Nice to meet you, Blake. How's everything going? Doing all right? Do you know why I'm here?
Magician.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a magician before? What about a magical rainbow? Have you ever seen one of those, Blake? Watch carefully. We're gonna make one, all right? Ready, right here. Did you see it? Right there. Did you see it? No, it's invisible. That's why you couldn't see it. Ready though? Watch. Does that make you go, ooh? Ah, maybe, oh? What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that pretty cool? Maybe when I'm done, I can teach you some tricks. Would you like that? All right, cool. Helps you get the girls, you know. It didn't help me, but you know, apparently that can help other magicians. Can you take one of those crayons out? Don't show me though. I don't want to know, okay? And can you put it in my hand so I can't see it? All right, I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna try to read your mind, okay? All right, Blake, let's see, concentrate. I'm not sure what color, but I'm feeling like the ocean or some ocean, or the sky, ocean. Why am I thinking of, was it blue? Hey, it was blue. Good job. You sent me some good messages. Do you want to know how I did it? Do you know? Do you have any ideas? No? What's on my thumbnail? When I turned this way, I drew on my thumb with the crayon. So when I turned back this way and pretended to read your mind, guess what I'm looking at? A blue thumbnail. I started doing magic when I was about 8 years old. But magic was something that I enjoyed doing as a hobby, and I was in competitions, and you know, just a good way to keep your mind going and give you something to do. So maybe that's something you can work on one of these days. Would you like to keep the crayons and work on that? Okay. Every time I've done a volunteer gig using magic, it's very gratifying. I don't know how many talents I have in this world, but this is, you know, one I have and something I'm able to do to bring some joy to people.
Well, I mean, now I know that I cannot become a professional musician, but you know, I play music almost every weekend, and I get paid doing it. That helps my dream a little bit.
Porque conforme no puedo estar. Si me molesta mirar para arriba, porque me dice.
I usually just use that money for Sundays and spend time with my kids. Every morning they start poking at me in my bed, so I mean, I never had that before, and it's just a warm feeling inside. So I mean, they wake me up and, hey, Daddy, it's time for breakfast, or hey, Dad, let's go to sleep, or let's watch a movie. Or... Without them, I don't think I'd be able to keep it together.
Hey! Shostakovich, starting at the Allegro. I'll give you 2 bars for nothing. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, ding! Okay. Can we do the very first? Like that. 1, 2, 1, ding! Whatever happens, whatever the circumstances, live into that possibility. When you're alive to possibility, you're awake, aware. We can wake up in the morning and, oh, it's going to be a horrible day. Or we can wake up in the morning and say, I wonder what's going to happen today, I can't wait. That's a wonderful state of mind, state of being. Everything that happens is an opportunity. What we make of it is up to us.
If I had pursued magic full-time early on, maybe I wouldn't have my wonderful family. You know, maybe I'd have a whole different life. I'd be living on cruise ships and in hotels and have a drinking problem.
If you fall down, you have to know how to get up, when to get up. I almost tripped, but then I got up again. And then I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna become a father.
We'll see, right? And everybody's got shining eyes. The main thing to realize is that possibility shows up in the eyes. Look, the eyes, the eyes.
To some degree, you go with the flow, and you go with kind of where the universe is taking you.
I'm still 23 years old, man. I don't think I've learned a lot. I think there's still much more for me to learn.
Life is great. I mean, it really is amazing. Aren't we incredibly lucky to be alive? I mean, isn't it an extraordinary privilege to be alive?
51, I still like to feel cool. I'm reading Blake's mind. Just kind of make it dramatic, like.
When I see the women pass by, that's just what I like to look at. No, I'm just messing with it.
I'm going off to have a horrible operation this afternoon. They're going to put a tube through my nose into my stomach. Extremely unpleasant. But who knows, something wonderful may come out of it.